Hi YouTube friend, thanks for tuning in to episode 2 of Road to Tech. My name is MEE-sha, I'm a software engineer, and I make videos about my career in tech, personal development, and everything in between. Today, let's talk about what you can put on your resume when you have no job experience. First, let's talk about why resumes are super important. The hiring process can be very resource intensive for a company. Between posting online and paying for those advertisements, to hiring recruiters and coordinators, and even asking their employees to stop their usual work and interview their potential teammates, it can add up pretty fast. For the typical US employer, it takes about $4,000 and 24 days just to make a single hire. It's therefore in the company's best interest to not only make a good hire, but be choosy about who they interview with. This video isn't meant to be a holistic resume writing workshop. I'm not an expert and there's just too many things to cover, so instead I'll link a few resources down below that I like and have personally used. For this video, I really want to focus on this problem that many college students experience, which is applying for internships but not being able to write a good resume because you feel like you have nothing to write about. I've definitely been here before, and these are the 4 things that I wrote in my resume that helped me nail my first internship. Number 1, homework. I know it feels weird to write homework on your resume, but I actually created a project section on my resume where I listed notable homework that I feel like would be great indicators of me being able to use C++ and Java. For example, for my operating systems class, a partner and I had to create operating systems over the course of a quarter using C++. For a different class, a different partner and I made Connect 4 solvers, gender facial recognition systems, and even Mount Vesuvius escape routes using Java. So these are really good indicators that I know how to program with C++ and Java, and those are really good experiences to highlight on a resume, especially if you're a student, because they know that pretty much the only thing you have time for as a computer science student is homework. You may be a broke-ass college student, but you sure as heck ain't a no-homework computer science student. Number 2, side projects. Side projects can include anything from short day builds from a hackathon or a long-time passion project that you have on the side. I really just want to emphasize that just because you're not paid for it does not cancel the fact that you have experience in building with that thing. The really great thing about computer science and software engineering is that most, if not all, languages and frameworks are free to use and download for folks. As long as you have a computer and a Wi-Fi, you're more than able to create StackBlitz projects or CodePen.io projects that showcase your skill without needing to wait for a company to tell you what to do. I've personally included hackathon projects in my resume, even if I didn't win, because I felt like it showed my product-centric kind of mind and also emphasized that I like to code and I like to build things with Java and JavaScript. Number 3, transferable skills. You might not have had a job before, but chances are you've joined an organization and have become an officer or an active community member. Be sure to add that involvement. I personally created a leadership section where I was able to talk about my involvement in a community service fraternity, in a human-centered design-based organization, and my other volunteering activities. And this all highlighted my ability to communicate with others, to prioritize deadlines, and to just be a punctual person. All of these are really key in working in a professional environment, especially if you're a software engineer. I feel like often we get the stereotype that software engineers are not good team players and that they work in silos in a dungeon, but the exact opposite is what happens in industry. You're often building off of the same code base with lots of other people, and being able to communicate your thought process with them is a key thing to have, especially when you're young and you're learning. Being able to show your senior engineers that you have thought through the problem will help you help them understand where you're coming from and steer you towards the better coding practice. Number 4, list key classes and programming languages that you're familiar with. In my resume, I added a section called Relevant Coursework, where I listed classes that I felt showcased my knowledge of computer science fundamentals. Some of those classes were object-oriented programming in C++, data structures and algorithms, intro to machine learning, etc. Listing key classes and programming languages on your resume not only helps the recruiter understand where you are in your CS college journey, it also helps you be able to hit some keywords on an ATS and maybe help you rank higher as a better match for a job posting. It's honestly a great way to buff up your resume because you don't have to think too much about it and you can just leave it as bullet points. But it's really important for you to not lie in this section. So don't lie about your proficiency level in a programming language. Just be honest. I like to list my programming languages based on my proficiency level with it, from beginner to familiar to expert. Feel free to use whatever strategy works the best for you as long as you list them. And if you are listing them, make sure you include it somewhere in the top of your resume so that it's easy for folks to see. To end this episode, I just want to tell you that I understand how tough it is to be in a situation where you feel like you're not going to be able to get a job because you don't have the right resume, and you're never going to have the right resume because you just can't get that first job. I know that it sucks, but it's really important for you to understand that, especially as an incoming intern, your main job in your resume and your interviews is to show the employer that you are capable and worth investing into. You've already done a lot of the hard work of being a student and completing those homework, so be sure to add that in your resume. Showcase the kind of engineer that you can be or the kind of person that you want to be in that company, and trust that it'll work out. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye!